It's very normal for a couple to have a conflict or disagree on something from time to time. We feel sad, frustrated, and angry because we care about each other. It's almost impossible to have a same exact identical values and perspective on everything. Conflict is inevitable and necessary. When we have conflict and it goes unresolved, this can lead to more and more conflict. But we can learn effective tools to find a resolution to each conflict as it arises. So let's dive in. Conflict management skills are essential part of every relationship. Every couple has conflict, right? The key is to a healthy relationship is managing and resolving your conflict so that you can experience a deeper understanding and connection with your partner. We often see a conflict as a disconnect or power struggle. One of the most promising ways to resolve conflict is called WinWin Solution. This happens when both partners work together to find a solution that they both agree and like. By working collaboratively and intentionally, couples can reach a solution that builds trust, connection, and love. Therefore, neither couples feel defeated or resentful using the system. Let's take a look at the case with Christy and John. They've been married for 15 years and they live in their home for 14 years. Their kitchen appliance and cabinets are showing wears and tear. They decide to do a remodel. Christy is an IT manager and she loves playing with a technical gadget as a hobby. John is an artist and he's poured his heart into decorating their home using his artistic talent. A few years ago, they attempted to remodel their kitchen and they gave up after continuously arguing over which appliance to buy. Christy didn't care how they look, just wanted to have high-tech efficient appliances, whereas John didn't care about technical details. He just wanted to have appliances to match and fit nicely with cabinets. But they never really stop and listen to each other. They would suggest and making a purchase, and Christy would argue that appliance didn't meet the electrical or efficient standards she wanted. And the Christy would have said, let's buy it. And John would argue that it's ugly. This time, they decide to slow down, intentionally listen to each other. John expresses that he wanted to have appliances to match their cabinets, but the stainless steel would be okay. He wanted to have the buttons on the dishwasher to be on the inside, not showing on the front. So John was very particular about display. For Christy, it's essential that the appliances meet certain electrical efficient standards. After listening to each other, they took their time to find the right appliances by going to different stores. Eventually, they found appliances that are technically advanced and pleasing to look at. This is a win-win for both of them, right? It's important to keep a win-win mindset to maintain trust, connection, and intimacy. If one partner wins and gets his way, and the other partner's needs and wants are ignored, this creates disparity and unfairness, can lead to resentment, anger, and possibly ending the relationship. Another potential outcome happens when neither partners are willing to give in and they both end up unhappy with the result. This often happens when the both partners are too stubborn to see the other person's viewpoint or perception. And it's important to being able to hold the conversation and being able to share their perception or ideas. So it's important to have that fluid experience with one another. But if there's a wall between them, then how can we reach a resolution? Committing to a win-win solution is not easy. It takes time, tools, intention, and different strategies. There are 4 key steps involved here. Let's take a look at each step. Step 1 is to eliminate all the possible foreseeable relationship disturbance. Before you begin the process or problem solve, it's important to try to resolve the feelings, the anger, resentment, impatience, intolerance with the situation. Bringing these difficult feelings into the conversation can lead to more debating or arguing instead of listening or cooperating, and it makes hard to find the resolution. Here are some steps that you can take if you find yourself trapped in one of these disruptive patterns. To begin, grab a pen and paper and at the top of the page, write disagreements. And underneath the heading, write down items you frequently, disagree with or argue over. So let's be honest and, open about this, because it's a way to exercise our awareness about these patterns that we notice. After you've written your disagreements on the paper, let's create a heading underneath and title emotional responses. Create subheadings and underneath that, and mine and my partners, write out emotional reactions that you and your partner experience, such as shutting down, being silent, avoiding, yelling, and shouting. For the final part, create a new heading called Plan to Eliminate Your Relationship Disturbance. Then write out a plan to process or eliminate these unhelpful emotional reactions. So take your time, doing this exercise. Going back to Chris and John's case, they look back to when they tried to remodel their home a few years ago and could not agree on appliances. So they become aware of these patterns that they notice and the sensitive topic of appliances. They were able to discuss the feelings they both felt and were able to let go of these feelings by creating a space and creating that safe conversation with one another. I call this co-regulation. We feel regulated by safely talking and expressing feelings to one another. Whereas taking a time out, or deep breathing, or taking a walk, or reading a book, or doing things by yourself are self-regulation. It's important to have a balance between co-regulation and the self-regulation, because when we use co-regulation too much, we're dumping our feelings to our partner. So we want to have that balance. Step 2 is about adopting the win-win principle. First and foremost, this solution is sort of the mindset. It's making 100% commitment to finding a solution that meets both your partner's needs and wants. It takes work, and yet it's possible. When Christy and John decide to explore different stores to find the right appliances, they're adopting this principle that we can work together. It's possible to reach the resolution. Step 3 is called purposeful listening. In this practice, you listen with open heart, letting go of our own judgment and preconceived notion of what our partner needs. It's important to give your partner eye contact and remove all the distractions such as cell phone, because you want to pay attention to what your partner say rather than looking at your cell phone and listening. Next step is synergetic brainstorming. In other words, you share all the ideas that might help you find a win-win solution. So you can take your time to write it down, a list of your ideas. We want to be open-minded and think outside of the box as you brainstorm, because one idea is more right than the other idea. Remember to listen to your partner's ideas as well, with purpose and sometimes positivity. Keep in mind that one of the key principles of brainstorming, there are no bad ideas. There are ideas for reasons. So go ahead and write them down and just have fun with the process. I want to share a few more ideas that might be helpful as you begin the process. Pick a day and time when you and your partner won't have any distractions. So use this time to discuss important issues before they build into negative feelings. Secondly, think with a breakthrough mindset. Many of us go into relationship thinking that conflict is bad, should be avoided at all costs. With breakthrough mindset, you see problems as an opportunity to work together and build closeness and intimacy. And the third idea is about creating a space with open heart, open mind. As you listen, it's important to sometimes let go of your own agenda and solely paying attention to what your partner is saying. And this way, we can see which area we want to create a room to discuss, whatever that is. And it's important to take a room to check on your emotional capacity and to take care of your own feelings. Then we can exercise this with our partner. If you don't practice care for yourself, how can we practice care for others? The win-win conflict resolution is a cognitive behavior skill that focuses on how our feelings, thoughts, behaviors are interconnected and how they impact the quality of our romantic relationship. Again, I like to stress the importance of awareness. Without awareness, it's hard to feel, it's hard to think, it's hard to behave consciously with intention. I'll encourage to create a space and time to reflect on your awareness again. In this way, your awareness will help you discover all the possible win-win conflict resolutions so that you and your partner will find long-lasting harmony and connection. Take good care of yourself and do your healing every day.